Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Israel Brief, brought to you by Lay of the Land. I'm your host, Raylene Marks, and just a reminder that the Israel Brief brings you the top stories from Israel every Monday to Thursday, right here on Facebook or on our YouTube channel. Without further ado, let's take a look at today's top stories. The IDF announced earlier that arrests have been made with regards to the incident that took place in the town of Yabed in the West Bank last night that saw First Sergeant Amit Ben Yigal, just 20 years old, killed. What happened was that the IDF went into the town to arrest four, and riots ensued, and a terrorist threw a rock from a rooftop which hit the young soldier in his head, and despite wearing a helmet, he was killed. He was just 21 years old, an only child. He has been buried, and his father has commented on the incident, saying that he is absolutely broken, he is absolutely crushed, as are all of us here in Israel. Earlier today, Prime Minister Netanyahu said the long arm of the IDF will reach out and catch the terrorist responsible for this killing. He is the first soldier to be killed in active duty in 2020. And it brings a bitter reminder that when we talk about tunnels, or we talk about rockets, or we talk about rocks being thrown, this is nothing minor. These are weapons of war. These are weapons with intent to kill. And here today we have the result: a young man in the prime of his life, serving his country, hit in the head by a rock thrown by a terrorist. We send our deepest condolences to his family, and may his memory be for a blessing. In other news, the top story dominating headlines around the world is, of course, COVID-19. And yet again, Israel's stats are looking extremely positive. In the last 24 hours, there have been 14 new infections and no new deaths. So let's take a look at where the stats are currently. Since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, Israel has had 16,526 confirmed cases. Fatalities are holding at 258. But also very importantly are the numbers of serious people in serious conditions and people on ventilators, coming down to 67 in serious condition and 52 on ventilators. So as we progress, and we have an 11,843 who have made full recoveries, and as we progress, slowly are we starting to lift more restrictions. And Miri Regev, the Minister of Culture and Sports, announced earlier today that theatres will resume performances from about the 14th of June, and there will be strict criteria in place with regards to the audience and how this goes about. Also announced is that the three main epicenters which have seen the highest rate of infections have seen those infection rates start to lower, which is very, very promising indeed. But last night we did have elements within the Haredi community, and I must just stress this is not the whole community, this is elements within a community who flouted the laws by the government to not hold bonfires on Lag BaOmer, and instead conducted bonfires in various cities throughout the country, and this resulted in the police having to come in and break it up, and in some cases the police were attacked. So a lot of criticism this morning in for communities who were told, please do not put people in danger by holding bonfires that will attract crowds. And in the last bit of news for the day, we have to congratulate former Minister of Strategic Affairs, Gilad Erdan. Erdan has been chosen to serve as ambassador to the United States and to the United Nations simultaneously. I think this is the first time we have an ambassador holding multiple portfolios in the same country, and he replaces Ambassador Danny Danon at the United Nations and Ambassador Ron Dermer as ambassador to the United States. And we join the rest of government in wishing him Bahatslacha. So don't forget that you can check out our content online at www.layoftheland.online. Check out our site. You can read Dave's article on called Streetwise about how streets have been named after certain US prime ministers or presidents rather. And don't forget you can check us out online on Facebook, and Monday to Thursday we post this very brief, and if you haven't liked or followed us yet, please do so and invite your friends too as well. We love to grow our community, and we also have a YouTube channel. Just simply look for at the Israel Brief on YouTube, click on the subscribe button and join our growing list of subscribers. So with today's edition of the Israel Brief, I wish you all a safe and healthy day. I'm Erdan with today's news.